Welcome to the program. I'm Joe Tilley in beautiful Newcastle, Ontario, Canada.
I'm Tyler Tilley in Bangkok.
And this is Real Raw Recovery. And let's start in the usual fashion with a moment of silence and the Serenity We prayer. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, courage to change the things we can, and wisdom to know the difference. Okay. So I'll do the reading.
Yes.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. We will not regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. That's from Alcoholics Anonymous, page 83. That's one of the promises in step 9. Once I became sober, I began to see how wasteful my life had been, and I experienced overwhelming guilt and feelings of regret. The program's 4th and 5th steps assisted me enormously in healing those troubling regrets. I learned that my self-centeredness and dishonesty stemmed largely from my drinking, and that I drank because I was an alcoholic. Now I see how even my most distasteful past experiences can turn to gold because, as a sober alcoholic, I can share them to help my fellow alcoholics, particularly newcomers. Sober for several years in AA, I no longer regret the past. I am simply grateful to be conscious of God's love and of the help I can give to others in the fellowship.
Did you like how last week pulled out some emotions?
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. I think it's good to be
Passionate?
charged up, passionate. Yeah. It's good to be passionate. So I think that what sticks out for me today is this business about how our experiences can turn to gold, because as a sober alcoholic, I can share them to help my fellow alcoholics, particularly newcomers. So, my self-centeredness, dishonesty, I was going over, we're working on step 3 with a guy I'm working with today, and going through the book, talking about, selfishness, self-centeredness. We're talking about the actor who tries to arrange the play to suit himself, wants to arrange the ballet, the orchestra, all the players, etc. And he thinks that if everybody does things his way, everything's going to come off just tickety-boo, and it's going to be the greatest play of all time. But the problem is there's other people involved, and so I can see how self-centered I used to be, and how that really used to, I didn't get that until I started to get that. But my self-centeredness was out of whack. I really had a hard time even accepting any blame in anything, accepting responsibility in anything.
Your connection is gone.
Yeah. Really, eh?
Okay, you're back.
On my back?
Yeah. It's like, wait till you hear the recording. It sounded like you were getting bombed by Iran.
It sounded like what?
You're being bombed by Iran.
Yeah. Shit. I think it's this bloody thing. Maybe it's not charged.
It's weird. Like, it was just like, it's not the whole time. It just came and went. You're fine again. Hello.
Hello. Yeah. So I don't understand this. Doggone it. It's better now.
Yes.
I just don't know why it. Okay.
Right now you're good.
Okay. So I'll pick
Just
it up
in your
at.
mid rant or your mid
Okay.
thing.
Okay. We'll pick it up right here in my mid thing.
Yes.
So yeah. So my point being that, before I got into recovery, I was extremely self-centered, self-absorbed, self, and unable to see my part in anything really. Blamed everything that was going on around me on other people, and took responsibility for very little. And that was the way it was because I was unable to see, until I did a searching moral inventory. I was unable to see my role in stuff. However, today it's not like that. I do see my role in stuff, but it takes me a little while sometimes. I still want to blame other people sometimes, and but I'm a lot happier when I don't. Like the ego in me wants to be right, and I think I want to be right, but when I get to a point where I realize I don't have to be right, I'm much happier. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's about picking your battles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because I notice like some people online, they say stuff, and it kind of bugs me.
Yeah.
And then I realize that it's not my fight. This is not a battle I need to pick, not a battle I need to get involved in. So I don't.
Right.
And then I'm much happier that I didn't.
Right.
And then every once in a while, I will get involved and pick up the battle and go, well, I probably didn't need to do that. And my ego's involved here, and it doesn't make me feel good. So, yeah, it's picking the right battles,
Yeah, sure.
and there really aren't a lot of battles that I need to pick.
No.
Very little battles that I should be involved in.
But I feel like I actually have something to say about this specifically.
Good.
Not so much about the reading, but just on the tail end that you took the conversation about, and then mentioning picking the battles. Because as you grow to learn about who you are and what you believe in and what you stand for and what's important to you, at that time, then you're gonna have situations or conflicts with certain individuals, and then I take those individuals into question, and I will, I guess, gauge whether they are worth engaging with. Because even somebody could say something that really hits home, but I either don't really know them, or I don't really value their opinion in the first place, or yeah, like I don't really like they're not close enough to home, and um, I will opt out of that battle. But when there's something important to me that comes up into play, and I'm dealing with somebody that I either respect or I value them, and I feel like, hey, I see things differently, or I see it this way, um, then I will engage. And it's not even necessarily a battle, but I will engage. I will throw some chips on the table. Like I will indicate, and I think, like, it's like I can't save everyone. So there's certain people that, like, I won't stand up for everyone's problem, or if someone, like, I can't get too extreme, but um, like I can't save everyone, or I can't stand up for everyone. but if there's certain people that are having issues, or, you know, if I feel someone's not bullied, the wrong word, but like I might throw some weight around if I feel like my friends are in need and they're in a position where they're getting treated poorly or something. I can see myself.
They could use some support,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm the same way. I don't like to see people getting bullied, you know, and you see that on the internet, people bullying people on the internet, or you know, making fun of certain people or whatever for being who they are or whatever, and somehow that's people decide that that's okay to make fun of them, and yeah, I don't like that, and
But I'm not
I
going to
sometimes I'll.
necessarily jump in with that either.
What's that?
I'm not. I will very rarely jump in anything on the internet ever.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like I just don't, because I don't feel like it's like a reality. I feel like that's just where people go to chart. Like they people say things on the internet because no one's listening to them, and so like they have like these voice. There's like I heard this a lot lately. Like everyone should have a voice, but not
Hmm.
everyone needs to hear that voice. And
Right.
it just because you have a voice doesn't mean we need to hear you. Like unfortunately, that's just the reality. Like we don't need to hear from everybody. It's just not the way it works. And
Hmm.
with the internet, all of a sudden now everyone, like if you're somewhat you have acquaintances or you're quote unquote friends with these people and they come up your feed. Like I don't. This is a platform that doesn't really mean anything. And when people vocalize like these random opinions over and over again throughout the day, it's just like you have, I don't know if you're aware of this, but I have snooze, but I can snooze people or certain things like certain groups and stuff. Like I snooze them for 30 days because I'm just like, oh, I can't bear to see this. Like, and eventually, like, it's just another alternative for me instead of just unfriending somebody, right?
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I never
Yeah.
never heard about that.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
snooze people and like,
because there's sometimes you know, people will pop up and I'll see something. Basically I have a sense that I know what it's going to be about, and I don't want to see it. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
but like I
I
do
mean,
not choose.
sometimes I'm wrong, and what they're saying is not what I thought it was going to be. But you know, but sometimes I'm right, and then I don't even want to read this because I know what it's going to be.
But then, like, if
And
there's somebody that I kind of respect and that they say something that's like, I can't remember like the last time someone posted something that actually got a reaction out of me, really. But if someone like actually commented something personal to me, I'm not like
right,
again we're dealing with kind of like a social media element here. But I'm gonna talk to them privately. It's not gonna be like this like all out like back and forth where everyone's gonna like follow along like a soap opera. I don't have time.
yeah,
I don't want like I don't have any desire to. Sometimes I do. I almost wish I had like an alter ego where I could just do that, but for the purpose of like gaining fan, like to have like a following, like a blog or a video thing where it's all about just being a contrarian or somebody who's just a mouthpiece. But on my personal
Mhm.
stuff, I don't have the time or the energy to battle people's like kind of like multiple personalities on this like on this computer box. Like it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I think you said something interesting then you when you said alter ego, because ego being the operative word here. I think what happens is when if I get engaged with somebody over something on the internet, it's always almost always because I'm allowing my ego to be involved here somehow, and there's a desire to be right and a desire to prove something to somebody, and maybe even hopefully change their mind, you know, and that's not going to happen, and that's really, I don't need to go there,
Right.
you know. I mean, you know, I sent you that thing that I wrote up my rant, you know, that my political rant. I sent you that. I didn't send that out, but I didn't. put it out there in the Ethernet.
Yeah.
I just wrote it just to vent for my own personal reasons, right?
Right.
Just so I can feel some release up on it.
Right.
But I don't have a desire today to let everybody see that, or to share it on a level of putting it out there.
Right.
Because again, that would be, I think, maybe trying to feed my ego in a sense, and I mean, there's parts of it that I'd like to say, come on, wake up, don't you see this? But there's also parts of it like, people have their own opinions and it's different than mine.
Right.
And that's okay, right? I don't have to make everybody agree with me, and that's, getting back to that business about being the orchestrator of the play, trying to run the play to suit myself. It is what it is. And sometimes maybe I have to listen to what other people have to say, maybe I have to get out of myself a little bit, and so anyway, I mean, not necessarily in this particular case instant, but sometimes definitely I do. I like the fact that it's good that I can think and I can have an opinion and that type of thing, but it's also good that I realize that it's just an opinion and just a thought, and I really don't know everything. And I really don't probably want to know everything. Sometimes I feel like I do know everything about a certain subject, and then, I become intolerant because I'm not open to other ideas. So I want to, I want to be able to, rise above that, because I want to be at a place where I'm loving and tolerant, and so I don't have to, love everything, but I tolerance is important, and in the big book it tells us that love and tolerance is our code, so I want to try to live by those principles.
Right.
Because I think ultimately it'll make me happier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being intolerant does not serve me.
I think sometimes it does. I have a
Explain.
tolerance. I have a tolerance level, and certain people can cross that line, and I'm intolerant of their behaviors or their actions, and I don't want to engage with them. And I've had a few of those occasions, and occasionally I can even be like my gauge can be off, where I'm judging this person, and maybe I haven't closed the door far enough, but there's certain people or there's certain behaviors I'm intolerant of, and it serves me because I just know myself, and I don't want to be around certain people or engage with certain people or spend my time, really is what it really is, around certain people, because I'm intolerant of their behavior or their mannerisms or their character at large. And I'm going to make a judgment call, and that's how I spend my time. I am not on this planet to be a saint, and the more I come to terms with that, it's just so freeing. And for me, that is happiness. That, like, knowing like I'm sorry, I don't have time for you is the most liberating thing that I've experienced probably in the last 10 years of my recovery. Before, I have to have time for everyone. Whenever anyone reaches out for help, I want the hand of a. I have shifted from that mentality. I don't have time for everyone, and I don't want to make time for everyone, and especially when their character is subpar, or I'm judging the Christ out of them because they're a piece of shit. I don't want to be around that. I don't want to give them a second chance. I find maybe there's certain people that give me second chances, but that's because I want them in my life, and vice versa. But just like like I was out for dinner with a guy, and the guy was badgering the waiter. And that's it. Are you there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here.
Okay. And that might seem like a small, insignificant, but he's not, it's not like you. Like if you were badgering the waiter, I would just ask you what's going on. Like, what, are you all right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I wouldn't, but
Right.
this is a kind of person where I'm intolerant of that kind of like, I don't want to learn more about this guy. I'm going to make that call early in our relationship. I don't want to go out for dinners anymore. And that's just the way it is. I'm intolerant of that. And I'm not going to try to be tolerant of that, unfortunately. And that's just, and I don't, if he has a crisis, I may or may not be available. I'm sorry. Like I can't.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. I know what you're saying, but I just think that I don't, I'm not talking about like being tolerant doesn't mean like I'm going to have to hang around with somebody who I don't like. Obviously, I think we have to, I think it's just self-care is when we choose to surround ourselves with people that we like, right? The people that we respect. I mean, that's self-care. However, when we run into people that, where we happen to run into people that we're finding, tough, that are tough to deal with, that are acting like assholes or badgering waiters or whatever, I agree. Like you learn from that. A person's true personality comes out sometimes in those types of scenarios. There was a person that I was sort of talking about a business proposition with, and he did the same thing, was really like nasty, snappy to the waitress. And I knew right away, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I'm not going to be involved with this person. I mean, because that's sometimes your true personality comes out in those types of situations. So, so that's not a case that, being tolerant is different than, choosing who we hang around with, because sometimes you have to tolerate people because they pop in and out of your lives for whatever reason, in and out of your life for whatever reason. So you have to tolerate that. But, who I choose to spend my time with, that's up to me. And if I constantly put myself surround myself with people who I don't care for, what am I doing? Why am I doing that? And that's not tolerance anymore. That's just self-care. Or lack thereof. What's the word that Mom uses sometimes? I like to surround myself with people who enhance my magnificence, right? Which is great.
But I guess what I'm saying is like you threw out the thing where it's like it's just in this case it feels like our roles are reversed. Like you're saying, hey, there's certain people that have difference of opinion than me, and maybe I need to be open to hearing them. Whereas I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I'm good. I'm good with not hearing those opinions and trying to understand where they're coming from. Whereas that sounds like a 20-year-old's opinion, and whereas mine's like, no, I know where I stand. I'm good with that. Maybe like there's certain as people I respect on a one-to-one level where I'll be willing to hear what they have to say, and it might be going against the grain for me. But like a general population stand, like, no, I'm cool, man. Like
Yeah.
Like I don't need that.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that. I don't want to especially where I'm at right now. It's like I don't have 1 minute for it, and I don't want to kind of go, oh, like, and because actually I do enough research on my own where, again, there's people I respect, and when they say something that I think is off-putting or I think is, I give it a chance, but like those are so far and few between that if I open the floodgates to everyone who opens their mouth, it's just like, forget it. I'm just not tolerant. I don't have any. My tolerance level for people's opinions is so low, especially when they're like combative. Like if there's a couple of guys that just post like very wishy-washy like sayings on the internet all the time, like not wishy, like feel good things, and sometimes I cringe, And then sometimes I go, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like that. And that's kind of goes like as far as, but like those kind of guys, I can handle that kind of
Mm-hmm.
like I can handle those kind of statements that they're making. And I don't feel like they're very opinionated or, as you would say, ego based. I just feel like they feel like that's a good thing to share with the world. And it's like, yeah, okay. And some of them I think are foolish or foolhardy. And sometimes I think they're wonderful. And
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with what I'm judging, whether it's foolhardy or cool or whatever. Sometimes a lot of that has to do with where I'm at in that particular moment. But also, like sometimes why would I have to engage with that? That's what I'm thinking. Like I know that like a lot of people engage in everything, and that's a frustrating place to be, I think, and I don't want to do that, right? Yeah.
I don't have time.
But tolerance. When I'm talking about tolerance, I think it's just like, seeing that and then going, oh well, that's it. Oh well. As
Where else
opposed
do
to
you think you
engaging.
need to be tolerant, though?
No. I mean, more so than I am now. Nowhere, right now. I think I'm pretty tolerant. I think that I have I have moments when I'm a little bit agitated and I don't feel like I'm very tolerant in that moment. Sure, that happens, and when that happens, I can choose. I could be more tolerant than I am in that particular moment. But again, those are like just specific episodes. I think in a general sense, I'm pretty damn tolerant.
And I think where I have to be tolerant is with people I love. I think outside of that, I don't really think there's much. For me personally, there's not this big overlying this big area in my life where I need to improve because I just don't care. I really don't want to care. I don't have the desire to be tolerant. It just doesn't. It doesn't like it doesn't. I don't lose any sleep over it, so I'm cool with that. I would look at the element of if I'm unhappy, as you mentioned, that was a good point. Like if you want to be happy, but I still don't like. I feel like there's liberation when I go, no, I'm cool with if that guy wants to be like that. Like it is what it is. It doesn't require me to like understand them or give them a chance to explain themselves. I just don't want to make room for that in my life.
Yeah. No, and again, that I think that gets back to choosing to surround yourself with people who enhance your magnificence, people that people you care about, choose and that you like. Surround yourself with those people, and don't engage with people who don't fit into that description.
And in my 37 years on the planet, that number narrows every year.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't have this huge network that I want. Like I have like there's certain people that I really enjoy engaging with. I get a lot out of it, and at this point in my life, I'm cool with that like small group. And I don't really. I guess also the line of work that I'm in, like I'm not out socializing, so that group doesn't tend to grow all the time. So
Mm-hmm.
I have like these people that I go, oh, I really like keeping this person in my life. I was messaging, I emailed a person that I really care about, and I said, hey, I want to start my year off right and just contact you and like just to say hello. And we haven't spoken in a while. Like, there's a couple of people that I would like to nurture and that relationship with them. They're just really, really good people. And but
Mm-hmm.
my network is so small because I just the people that magnify my magnificence or whatever you said is very limited.
Yeah.
And probably by my choosing, I'm sure there's other people that would make me feel very similar, but I'm good with 5 to 10 people in my life that I constantly am in contact with, and like that's good. That's plenty for me.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because especially if they're all enhancing your magnificence, that's good. That's good.
I think so. Not always.
All right, ready to wrap, are you ready to wrap this up?
All right.
All right, let's wrap it up. Okay. Serenity reprayer.
Yeah.
God,
God.
grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, courage to change the things we can, and wisdom to know the difference.